Welcome, everybody, to a soccer Saturday night in downtown St. Petersburg. The Tampa Bay Rowdies tonight in an interstate clash hosting FC Naples. This pregame show presented by Suncoast Credit Union. Less fees, more perks. Join Suncoast today. And tonight, part of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Prinx Tires, proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Cup. Built for practical performance and the long haul, Prinx delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit PrinxTireUSA.com to learn more. And we welcome you inside the booth. Everybody thrilled you're here. Drew Felios alongside the Rowdies' legendary goalkeeper, Jeff Attinella. Well, Tampa Bay coming off, safe to say, their worst performance of the season, Jeff, and it had been pretty good up until then. How do you respond tonight if you're Tampa Bay?
Well, I think for the Rowdies, the best thing they could do is learn from the mistakes that they made and then take that game and throw it in the trash. Because the worst thing you could do is let that energy from that game carry over into the next one. And tonight's a great opportunity to get the vibes back, but also to get the team gelling again and playing the smooth style of play that we've seen from them. So throw it away, move on, bring some good energy, and get a result tonight.
And the Rowdies lineup could certainly use a spark. Gino Vivi, he certainly provided some energy to the Rowdies in their last performance.
I really liked what I saw from Gino coming into the game. I think he adds a different dynamic that this Rowdies team really doesn't have. One of those wingers that can drive 1v1 and attack. So I'm excited to see what he does with the opportunity to start tonight and see if he can get himself some more playing time from his performance against Naples.
And FC Naples, William Adevallo. You know how Naples, they want to have a good performance here tonight.
And he's really the facilitator, so he's going to dictate the play of game for this FC Naples group. So inside the midfield, he'll be on the ball, he'll be creating different chances. He has goals on the season, but it's also his ability to break lines with his passes and get in behind, so he's somebody that the Rowdies really need to be aware of.
And we got so much to look forward to in the Prinx Tires USL Cup, because coming up this Monday, July 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Babe, are we out of paper towels?
I think so. And maybe a new toy for Sunny?
Already in my cart. Ooh, it's the newest viral tumbler.
I mean, we're getting instant cash back, so go for it.
Suncoast Cashback Plus gives you up to 20% back combined with your Suncoast Credit Union checking or savings account. From everyday purchases, dining out, or buying gift cards, you'll get cash back on the spot. Get started at suncoast.com/morecash.
That must be our new 500 times the cash scratch off. What a massive multiplier.
It's like I always say, go big or go bigger.
And it'll help us do huge things for education.
Donut?
I'll take 500.
I'll get the multiplier.
Times the cash scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Your love of driving started early. As you zoomed down your imaginary highway, someone was always there to protect you, to make sure you're still covered. Kemper Auto knows your journey and will help you along the way. Affordable, personalized auto insurance you can count on. Get a quote today.
When we see you, we see ourselves. So the care you receive is exactly the kind of care we would want.
Great news. You're gonna be fine. You're all good.
Orlando Health. We make it personal.
Just moments away from kick. Tampa Bay Rowdies coming out onto the pitch. FC Naples, the opponent tonight, as tonight's matchup presented by Raymond James. Thrilled to have you with us on Tampa Bay's 44 and ESPN Plus. The Rowdies in the 4-5-1 for Tampa Bay. We talked about Vivi and how he is a spark. I don't know, safe to see Lewis Hilton, number 4, back in this lineup. Jeff.
Yeah, it's good to see Hilton back in the lineup. He'll protect the center backs a little bit more than we've been seeing. I like the addition of Micheletto. He's somebody from the midfield that likes to get in behind. And as we talked about with these Prinx Tires Cup game, this is an opportunity for some of these guys to get themselves playing time in the regular season. So excited to see what they do with the opportunity. Henderlong has been a big-time scorer in the Prinx Tires USL Cup for FC Naples. Now, we talked a lot about Arevalo, how many things he does. Chris Garcia, also an impact player there on the left. Yeah, 19 and 11 are the two names that you need to look at in the midfield. Look for them to be the creators and really try to dictate this game for this FC Naples side. 4-5-1 for FC Naples.
little coaching shakeup for them, an interim head coach, and Zach Gordon will get into more on that. As you look at the Rowdies, 86 degrees, feels a little bit toastier here at Al-Link Stadium tonight, as the Rowdies wearing their World Cup kits. So far, looking for their first victories in those uniforms. They look sharp. They just need a result in them as Jamali Wade gets the group together.
Yeah, these jerseys are really sharp. I like the way they look on the guys, but unfortunately they haven't brought the luck that we've seen from the hoops, from the normal hoop colors. But, hopefully tonight we can kind of get rid of that narrative, because I do really like these uniforms on the group.
See Gino Vivi right there, number 11. Also Isaiah LaFleur, player to watch here for Tampa Bay. Busy World Cup week it has been. Soccer has never been more talked about than it is right now here in the United States. And the Rowdies trying to get a victory, and most of all is their Prinx USL Tires Cup status is right now as secure as it can possibly be. Tonight, I think, just a little bit more about redemption, as you said, Jeff, just bouncing back from that lackluster performance last week. Pedro Dolabella, he is loose.
Well, I also think as well, there's something to be said about winning your state, right? When we talked about this Prinx Tires Cup before it got started, it was almost more of a state cup or like a state challenge with the group that the Rowdies were placed into. So they've been able to get 3 wins so far in group play, and of course you want to finish your group out strong and see if they can get themselves a win and get back on the right foot.
Underway from Tampa Bay, FC Naples in the navy, Rowdies in the white here tonight. Jamali Wade comes out quickly to clear one for the Rowdies, and may have been a little collision there. Leland Archer and some friendly fire happening on the first sequence.
And for the Rowdies, this isn't a position where you really want to lose somebody right now, because the injury to Brian Schaefer, Leland Archer has been slotting into the starting lineup, so hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Right there, Archer going down. That does not look good for the Rowdies.
Yeah, of course you don't want to speculate, but at the same time, just kind of the way that it was planted and his reaction to it.
Jorge Escobar, our head referee here tonight, and not good news here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Leland Archer looking for a better performance than a week ago, and certainly in some pain right now. Our injury report: Austin Pack, Alex Rodriguez out, also Schaefer. That is a big loss for the Rowdies. Lawrence White can no go as well.
And that's what we talked about, the injury to Schaefer. Now if Leland Archer going down, it's a position where they're a little bit thin at the moment. So how they decide to fill in this role, it's obviously a big decision from Coach Dom Cassiato, but tonight was a good opportunity for Leland Archer to really try to put his best foot forward after the game that he had on Saturday.
So it's Leland Archer right now being tended to. Let's get to our keys to the match. Jeff, what are you looking for here as he slowly gets up? Brought to you by Suncoast Credit Union.
Well, for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, they just need to get back to what works. I think that last game they went a little bit away from the way that they've been playing in terms of how they were keeping the ball offensively, but also being structured defensively. So making sure that you have the coverage of the center backs and making sure that you're protected behind the ball is one of the keys that the Rowdies have been having a lot of success with. And of course, catching teams on the counter. And for this FC Naples group, it's don't be afraid to take risks. I mean, this is a game that, this is a game where, in all intents and purposes, it really doesn't mean a ton when you're talking about the group stages and where we're at. So I think for FC Naples, don't come in here scared. Be free in how you want to play, and really try to put your best foot forward.
So concerning moments early on for head coach Dominic Casciato, our coaching matchup brought to you by Suncoast Credit Union, and how frustrating it must be for Leland Archer. Remember, spent most of the year recovering, trying to get back on the field, and then this happens. Zach Gordon on the other side, the interim head coach. So he has got a lot on his plate tonight. Nothing would be better for him than a Naples victory.
We talk about it a lot of times. Sometimes you're playing with house money, and I think for an interim coach coming into this situation in a game that doesn't mean a ton outside of pride, it really gives him the opportunity to stay flexible and play the way that he wants his team to look.
So let's see how Rowdies answer some early adversity here with Archer going down. Dos Santos thought that he was going to have a night where he could kind of sit back and at least be a spectator for some or part of the night. Not the case. He is immediately inserted here in the 4th minute. So an early challenge there. An official right there to make the call. A little bit of tugging going on. Isaiah LaFleur. And LaFleur lost it as he approached the 18-yard box. Leyland Archer looks to be leaving the field right now for the Rowdies. Behind the Rowdies' goal, slowly walking off as Tampa Bay continues possession.
Yeah, as a player and just on the human level, you feel for Leyland Archer in this situation. Hopefully it's just something that's a little bit of a scare, nothing too real. He's worked his way back from injury for most of the season, so difficult moment, of course, but hopefully, the reports come back better than it seems like everyone's thinking at the moment.
Rowdies now on the far side. Altogether been an awesome season so far for Tampa Bay. First place in the Eastern Conference in USL Championship. Here in this Prinx Tires USL Cup, they have absolutely run roughshod over interstate rivals Sarasota, Jacksonville, and Miami, all victims to the Rowdies. And tonight trying to add FC Naples to that list. Pass gets sent back. Dos Santos recovers, and the Rowdies now attack from the far side. There it goes down there. Tampa Bay now will have to retreat. These two sides played each other in the preseason, so they're certainly familiar with each other. FC Naples certainly wants to make a statement, as you said tonight, playing with house money. That's the best way you want to play.
Well, for the Tampa Bay Rowdies as well, this is an opportunity to try to get the mojo back. We talked about the bright start that they had to the season, the position that they're in. They still have everything in front of them, so they've done a great job in the lead up to this and in this moment of coming into the dog days of summer. They've done a great job of getting the results that they needed to do and putting themselves in position where, they're still in play for everything that they want to accomplish. But these are the moments in the season where you need a little bit of a spark. Maybe it's somebody that isn't a normal starter coming in and making a little bit more of a different impact, and just creating kind of those good feelings and those good vibes that this group has had throughout the course of the season.
Here's Lewis Hilton, nicely done. Rowdies advancing here. Gino Vivi in the 11 tonight after the impressive performance last week. Isaiah LaFleur. In fact, when you size up that whole performance last week, Vivi, I think, the lone bright spot. Dolabella now.
We got a little bit of a look there on what Gino provides. He's not afraid to take players on, but he's also smart when the way he wants to possess the ball. He realizes that he has 2-3 defenders coming his way. So instead of trying to take 2 or 3 players on, cuts it back inside, reconnects with his midfield, and tries to recycle the ball. Rowdies will collect. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of USL Championship. From grassroots to pros, they're every step of the way. Go to us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and much more. Select is the player's choice. It's LaFleur once more. Little floater into the box, setting up the header. And Conway, good to see him get a touch here early on with M.D. Myers on the bench tonight to start. It's a good ball into the box, and it's a good run from Conway. He's coming all the way from that far post. Unfortunately, just unable to redirect it, but he's a player I thought he came off the bench and did a good job as well in the last game, and he's somebody who's really trying to reestablish himself as a goal scorer for this team. So it's not only Gino that has the opportunity to prove himself, but we also have the different players like Header Long up top, Conway out wide. Just a couple of different goal scorers that are going to try and find a rhythm with this game and see if they can get themselves a little bit more playing time during the regular season. Jamali Waite tracking it down. Dos Santos and Tampa Bay will build from the back here. If you're just joining us, Leyland Archer going down for the Rowdies in the first minute. Immediately subbed out by Nate Dos Santos. So Tampa Bay with the top spot in that Group 7, already qualifying for the quarterfinals of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. This is Osorio. And the Rowdies giving chase a little bit. Dolabella doing some tugging right in front of the official.
Rowdies defense will step up and challenge these visitors, really make them prove themselves. FC Naples 5-10-2 here in just their second season of action here tonight at Outlet. Ball's intercepted by Dos Santos. Lewis Hilton spreading in now out of the center circle. Tampa Bay works on the far side. For all the World Cup fever going on, it is International Soccer Night tonight at the stadium. Rowdies celebrating their diversity. 12 players on the roster born outside of the United States. And right now, they are charging forward. Henderlong sends it right. This ball will be sent in. Tampa Bay has it in the box. It's Vivi. And the ball's going to go the other way.
Those are situations where normally you see a Tampa Bay Rowdies outside backs making those runs. And I think for LaFleur, if he can make that overlapping run for Gino, he's looking for it there. He's able to draw that outside defender. So that overlapping run is on. Usually that's a run that we like to see from the Tampa Bay Rowdies outside backs. Just a little bit more ability to get that width from LaFleur. And I think that he helps out Gino in that situation. They're able to get a dangerous chance on goal.
Joshua Grant in net tonight for FC Naples. And another long goalkeeper, 6'5", takes up a lot of space between the pipes. You can enter the Prinx Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code right there on screen and enter today. Talking about that World Cup, what do you make of the action today, Jeff? You're glued to your laptop in the pregame.
Yeah, well, England just pulled it off, so I think that, you know, this English side for me has been extremely impressive. They went down to Azteca, got it done with 10 men, and now they're playing in the sauna that is Miami and get the result against Norway. So I think the World Cup action's been great, and, you know, a team like England, which of course has a lot of people in this country captivated, they just keep doing their thing. So it's fun to see when the best teams get themselves in positions to win the tournament, because especially when the semifinals roll around, those are the types of games that you want to see, and those are the teams that you want playing in them.
Now it's Dos Santos and LaFleur for the Rowdies. Talked about all the countries Tampa Bay players come from. Brazil, Canada, Costa Rica, England, France, Germany, Italy, Jamaica represented by goalkeeper Jamali Waite, Trinidad as well.
I think this is a celebration of what makes this game so beautiful. Yes. You know, I think that for me, the World Cup has really highlighted just how much of cultural impact this game can have on our country as well. So, you know, as we continue to try and champion this sport, I just think that the diversity and then just the different backgrounds coming together, that's why they call it the world's game, because even if you don't speak the same language, you're still able to play this game and you still have an understanding of what's going on the field, and I just think that that's a beautiful thing about this sport.
So Naples has possession here, 12th minute. Jeff, you played a lot of soccer in your career. Did you ever get the chance to play outside the United States?
Yeah, so we've spent a lot of time in Central America. You know, we've played in places like Honduras, Guatemala, spent a ton of time in Costa Rica, El Salvador, and then fortunately I've had the opportunity to play in Azteca and gone down to Mexico a few times as well. So some fun opportunities to just see the world a little bit and, you know, just dive into what the culture of soccer is around us and around the world.
Tripped up right there, official all over it. He's Jeff Attinella. I'm Drew Felios. We're absolutely thrilled to have you with us on this Saturday night here at Al Lang Stadium. And this is a foul. Giannis Learman for Tampa Bay getting his first start.
Yeah, clearly a foul on that one. Forward just comes through, takes out the ankle. This is a position now. Where we can't really afford to have anybody on the Rowdies else picking anything up. So good to see him pop back up. Nothing too serious. And again, this is an opportunity for Learman. This is a good opportunity for Giannis to establish himself in this lineup as well. So we have a lot of that going on the field tonight for this Rowdies group.
Now it's Dolabella, good pace from the midfielder. Lewis Hilton now switches the point of attack for the Rowdies. Also going to hear from Deandra Liu later on in our broadcast. As Lewis Hilton again collects Dolabella. And the Rowdies looking for an opening here in the 14th. Right now, I'd say that's being called a little closely this match. Officials trying to get a hand on things early.
Yeah, I think that there's been a little bit of ticky-tacky stuff, but at the same time, as long as refs are consistent throughout the course of the game, that's what you're looking for. So if this is going to be the way he calls the first 13 minutes, there's no problem with that. It's just about making sure that that's the way that the game is called throughout the entirety of the 90.
A great point. So here's Joshua Grant, 6'5" out of Ireland, his first pro side. FC Naples, huge opportunity. Now Dos Santos and Tampa Bay. Ball has been played mainly on the FC Naples half. Nicoletto tripped up that time again. Calling the game closely. It'll be Rowdies' possession. Number 7 right there, Taylor Gray for FC Naples.
And that's a good ball there from the center back, Giannis Learman, because without Schaefer in the lineup, Schaefer was so good with the ball at his feet and breaking lines. And that was a huge part of what was making this offense successful. When the center backs have the ball and they're able to get those passes through the first, second line of pressure, and you're able to bypass that with one pass, it creates so much more space and opportunity for the offense. So without Schaefer in the game, one of these center backs needs to step up and start providing those types of balls. So if Learman's able to break those lines like that, it's going to really go a far way in making the Rowdies look like they did in the first half of the season.
Here's Fifi. Trying to post up there was Henderlong. This ball's going to be deflected. And good job by the Rowdies getting it back here. Lewis Hilton now assessing things. Hilton, decent ball towards the end line. Crossed in. And knocked down immediately by the visitors. Nate Dos Santos, former Charleston Battery. He, along with M.D. Myers, tremendous acquisitions for the Rowdies thus far this year. Dos Santos, again, posting up. It's Henderlong. Henderlong can do that. He is a big body in there. As the Rowdies now play just outside the 18-yard box. Tampa Bay looking for the right opportunity. It's LaFleur. Good pace and tempo here by the home side. All left in front. Solid possession here by the Rowdies. Good job switching the point of attack. Taking the shot and just over the crossbar. That is a good piece of soccer there by Tampa Bay.
That's a little bit more of what we're used to seeing, the ball recycling around, recognizing that there's not opportunities to break through this block that Naples is setting up. And I do like this from Evan Conway. Don't be afraid to take this chance. Cut the ball inside, get it on your left foot, try to find that top corner. Take opportunities to get shots on goal when you have them. But good build-up play and even better, good patience from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. That's something that we've been lacking a little bit on the offensive side, is that patience to recycle the ball. Good example there of what it can do for you.
Tonight's matchup brought to you by Suncoast Credit Union. More perks, less fees. Join Suncoast today. FC Naples going to slow things down just a little bit. Juan Osorio, the midfielder. Little 1-2 action here for FC Naples. It'll belong to the visitors. Isaiah LaFleur there.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much foot on that challenge. I like the urgency, though, to close down on the wing. You don't want to give FC Naples any comfort. You don't want to let them settle into this game. So defensively pressing, I don't mind it at all.
FC Naples quickly now moving it up the pitch. Taylor Gray, little 1v1 action. LaFleur right there with him, step for step. And looks like we may have our first corner kick of the match. And you know what that means. Colony Grill gets a shout out. Colony Grill corner kick, famous thin crust pizza since 1935, and delicious as ever in the pregame.
Keeps us fed before the game. Shout out Colony Grill, man. It hit the spot today for sure.
So William Arevalo, the Colombian, here the in swinger. Nice lift on this one towards the far post. Dolabella gets his head on it first. Here's a screamer. And this ball just to the right of the goal. If that had been redirected, would have been trouble.
Yeah, it's not a bad effort. The ball pops out on top of the box, a lot of traffic inside. If he puts that on frame, it's going to be difficult for Jamali Waite to deal with all the different traffic and the different things in front of him. So not a bad effort off the half volley. You see it kind of curling away off of his foot.
Sebastian Cruz able to get the Rowdies rolling. Tampa Bay now with Henderlaw. This is Micheletto. Micheletto will take the shot. Oh, through traffic. Just to the left. Nearly got it inside that far post.
Yeah, up for a corner kick, so it must have taken a deflection on its way in, but this is something that I think Marco Micheletto provides this group, some more attacking prowess from the midfield. He took that little bit of deflection off the defender for Naples' foot, able to draw that corner kick. But again, I love the opportunity to take shots on goal, get shots on goal, test this goalkeeper, make him work a little bit, see if you're able to sneak one past.
Second Colony Grove corner kick of the match. Here on deck, Marco Micheletto. See Evan Conway in that 6-yard box. Micheletto sends it in a pretty good spot. Lewis Hilton will run it down now for the Rowdies. Micheletto floats one, far side. The Rowdies trying to get ahead on it. Foul's going to be called here on Pedro Dolabella. A little too handsy in the attempt.
Just hands on his back, uses the defender to prop himself up a little bit. Easy call from the referee, but again, I like what I'm seeing from the Tampa Bay Rowdies group right now, getting back to what's been working them throughout the course of the season. You just see here, just hands all over the back there. But recycling the ball, putting the ball into the box, taking shots, taking chances, pressing defensively. This is the Tampa Bay Rowdies that we've been used to seeing all season long, and they're doing a good job of this so far to start this one.
Now it's Taylor Gray back here for FC Naples. 21st minute, still scoreless here at Al Link Stadium on another toasty summer night. Turn to CBS on Saturday, July 18th for USL Championship Eastern Conference Showdown. Last season's champ Pittsburgh goes head-to-head with the 2025 Players Shield winner Louisville City. It's a must-watch match. Two elite clubs, Pittsburgh and Lou City. July 18th, 12 p.m. on CBS. Naples here trying to settle down. Fairly good start for the Rowdies tonight at home. Send it back here for FC Naples. Now they'll go with the long ball. Rowdies paused and then retreat. And a battle right along that end line. How about Sebastian Cruz? He is very physical on that point of attack.
Yeah, it's a good job. Sebastian Cruz taking a good angle on the ball, and good on the referee as well, because that could have been something that the referee called with the hands, but it was a good job by Cruz establishing himself defensively, making sure he's in that good position to win that ball.
Altogether, take one more look at it. Cruz, again, not given an inch here. This game can be all about angles. That was Chris Garcia, who he just said, sorry, ain't gonna happen here.
They tried to turn the corner. He does a good job with that first touch, but you know, defensively sometimes it's not necessarily about the speed that you have, but it's about the angles that you take to the ball and the angles that you take to the defensive approach. And Cruz does a great job on that example.
Lewis Hilton now redirects it. Rowdies settle it. So I told you about the big announcements coming up. Prinx Tires USL Cup, the quarterfinals. Dan Lucas hosting that show on Monday with Devin Kirk. Cannot wait for that. Rowdies have already qualified for the top spot in group number 7. So Tampa Bay tonight just trying to get all together that momentum back, that good vibe. Hilton sending it a little bit too far there. And as a player, Jeff, do you think, okay, this is a cup game, this is a regular season, or are they just games at the end of the day and you're just coming out playing to win?
You understand what they are. You understand the situations you're in. They understand that this is the cup game, that they've already won the group. But at the same time, as we've talked about, I think coming off of the result that they had on the weekend, I think this game is going to be viewed as an opportunity to really put their best foot forward and really get themselves the opportunity to get the good vibes back and the good mojo back that we've been talking about. But for me, whenever I played in Open Cup games, or whenever you were in Open Cup games and tournament games, you always knew it was going to be a little bit of a different lineup. You always knew players that hadn't necessarily been getting the minutes that they want to be getting are going to get the opportunity on the field. So you take that as an opportunity. If you're somebody that's been coming off the bench, if you're somebody that's been on the bench a little bit more, you take that as an opportunity to really lean into the chance to prove yourself to the coach in these types of settings.
So our first hydration break. Good vibe looking over there on the FC Naples side and for the Rowdies as well. Let's check in with our Deandra Liu. Hey, Deandra.
Hey, Drew. This past Wednesday marked 1 year since Dominic Cassiato was named head coach of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And when he took over, the Rowdies were at one of their lowest points, but it didn't take long for him to completely reshape this roster. At the start of the season, Cassiato noted the lifestyle and the weather here in Tampa Bay and how they were all great things to have, but what was really important to him was finding guys who would put the Rowdies first. He brought in 21 new players to start the season, and the turnaround has been pretty incredible to watch. I think if they can get a win tonight, guys, it will make it that much better. I'll send it back up to you.
Thank you, Deandra. I really like his demeanor, especially last season when he took over, and he was in a really tough spot at the time, Jeff, and he just came in very cool, did not completely blow his stack, and just slowly put the pieces together. He had a vision.
Well, especially as a head coach, as I've gotten to know him through preseason and throughout the course of this season, he's somebody that's very detail-oriented, and you want that out of your head coach because going into games, you want to make sure that your entire team is on the same page. And that's a big part of the reason why they've been having a lot of successes, because everybody knows their job, everybody knows their assignment, and that's really what we've been dealing with Coach Dominic Cassiato since he's been here.
Now, Tampa Bay going to stand their ground here tonight, especially after what happened last week. Little chippy in this game. You can tell this is an interstate, shall I say, rivalry brewing.
Yeah, and two teams that won it. That's what I'm seeing right now. It's two teams that won it. The Tampa Bay Rowdies, we talked about, opportunity for a lot of these guys to get themselves a little bit more playing time. And for FC Naples, you just fired your coach. You have an interim coach. You're playing against your in-state rival, the big dog, so to speak, in Florida when you're talking about USL. So it's an opportunity for everybody on the field right now. So you're going to see a little bit more passion, I think, than you might see given other situations.
So FC Naples here with possession. And Rowdies get set here defensively. Union Home Mortgage is the official mortgage partner of the Rowdies. Union Home Mortgage is your partner from first homes to refinance. Get started with UHM today and visit UHM.com to learn more. Tapped out there by LaFleur. And it'll be a Naples throw. Osorio, the midfielder. Tristan Rose in the back, University of Maryland product for FC Naples. And this is Juan Osorio. Trying to chip it forward here to Santos. Is on point. Giovanni Miglietti. Macias in traffic. Opening there in the middle. Closes quickly. The Rowdies now on the front foot. Labella trying to go with the long ball. Micheletto leads him maybe just a little bit too far. As far as some of the players not in the 11 tonight for the Rowdies, M.D. Myers and Russell Cicerone. Lots of firepower. You're losing right there, but options tonight if needed later on in the match.
Yeah, this is where you want to see who else can provide goals. I think that anytime that there's a couple negative results in a row, or anytime that things aren't going as well as they were at the beginning of half of the season, it leaves things open and it leaves opportunities open. LaFleur in these situations, he needs to do a better job of getting himself wider. That's such a big part of what the Tampa Bay Rowdies do. He's a little bit too pinched inside when the ball's on his side. Get yourself a little bit wider. Get yourself to that sideline. Start providing that width that we're used to seeing. It's a big part of how they play.
See a player goes down here for the Rowdies. It's Dolabella. He'll get up slowly. Tristan Rose and FC Naples here reset from the center circle. Not a lot of chances for Tampa Bay thus far. Marco Micheletto with the best one about 5 minutes ago. Enderlong there challenged inside that center circle, and now it's Taylor Gray. So Isaiah LaFleur, another first-year Rowdy. So many new Rowdies at the start of the year. About mid-season right now, though, everybody has had their chance to get a taste of the action here at LA.
We talked about it a little bit in the open, just the different assets that Lewis Hilton provides to this group. I'd like to see him get himself a little bit more in the midfield and really start dictating the flow of this game. When he's on the ball, he moves that ball from side to side, and he does such a good job of switching the point of attack. Getting him a little bit more involved in the game, getting his foot on the ball a little bit more, really providing those options to really spray those balls out wide the way that he does, I think is something that's really going to open up this FC Naples defense.
FC Naples now, quick counter attack. Does not grow as LaFleur able to cut it off, and Isaiah tries to go over the top Rowdies. Right now, maybe just got to be a little bit more patient in possession. Other players available tonight for Tampa Bay later on. Luis Perez, Charlie Ostrom as well. Again, mid part of the season, summertime, dog days of summer. Certainly need more guys to step up. That's a big part of tonight for the Rowdies. Oh, another foul called. Crowd not going to be happy. Could easily be described as ticky-tack.
Yeah, and it was a late call, too. It seemed like the referee was going to let it play. But once the Rowdies got a head full of steam, he blew the whistle. Let's get another look at it here. Yeah, I can see that. It's a shoulder to the back. If it's shoulder to shoulder, that play keeps going on. But once the defender turns his back and Henderlong makes contact with his back and his shoulder, that's a foul. So it's a good call there from the referee.
Joshua Grant, another goal kick here. Ball to the Rowdies. It'll be a Tampa Bay throw. Not much wind tonight here in the stadium. A little bit sticky at the park. Nato Santos now sizing things up for the Rowdies. Giannis Learman, part of that back line. Lewis Hilton, the engine offensively for Tampa Bay for so many great seasons. That pass right there has got to be better.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people running away from the ball. Everyone trying to make those runs. I think Micheletto could have taken a little bit more space. There were different options there, but we talked about, see another foul here. Yeah, just, I mean, the refs making the calls. The refs making the calls. There's a lot of ticky-tack fouls going on, and the refs making the calls for him. But I think what we talked about there, too, is Hilton has that ball. He has that ball in the midfield. He breaks that initial line of pressure, and that allows Micheletto to run at the back line with numbers going forward. And breaking those lines of pressure is just such an important part of what the Tampa Bay Rowdies have had success with. We talked about the not having Schaefer in the lineup to break those lines. So maybe that's Hilton dropping in a little bit more, receiving the ball off the center backs and being the facilitator that's able to do that. But figuring out the ways to break those initial lines of pressure is going to be a huge thing for this Tampa Bay Rowdies group.
See Lewis Hilton right there for Hilton tonight. His 169th Rowdies appearance. That is incredible, as he is creeping up on the great Georgi Ristov in that category.
We had Hilton on the podcast this week. It was a great conversation, just talking about how he found his way over to the States, the path that he's took, going from England down to North Georgia. His first taste of America was in the mountains in a really small town in North Georgia, where he went to school, and just a career that he's been able to build for himself here in the States. We dove in a lot too about just the youth system in the American side versus the youth system in the English side, and really just talked about trying to develop soccer in this country based off of the ideas that they have going on overseas. Really fun conversation if you wanted to tune into it.
Great stuff that's on the Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast, hosted by Jeff Attinella every single week. Great information, interesting guests. Talked about Georgi Hristov too, 173 all-time Rowdies appearances for Hristov. So Hilton not far off, just 4 away now. Vivi rising, and Henderlong gets a piece as well. Just stuck it on top of the goal. Great idea for the Rowdies, just needed that finishing touch.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit more, moving this ball from side to side. And for Henderlong as a number 9, you're free in the box. Got to do a better job directing this ball onto frame here. No pressure on him at all. FC Naples is slow to react. But it's a good job there by Gino Vivi redirecting that ball into the middle where Henderlong is just sitting there wide open. You like to see that ball come across. You want to see him snap that header down. Try to put that ball back where it came from. But a golden opportunity there for Tampa Bay Rowdies to take a 1-0 lead.
And now it looks like we're getting a delay call here as I think fans want that call as well. Joshua Grant taking the air out of the ball literally, Jeff.
The crowd's very upset with the goalkeeper right now. The crowd, I'll give the crowd a lot of credit. They've been providing a lot of energy.
Yes, they certainly have.
The last couple games, so hopefully the Tampa Bay Rowdies can give them something to get fired up about.
So corner kick coming up for the Rowdies. Grand Central Brew House, a family-friendly, pet-friendly, community-friendly, 2-story brewery, tap room, and beer garden located in the heart of the Grand Central District. Grand Central Brew House featuring traditional lagers and ales, brewed in-house and served directly from European serving takes. Grand Central Brew House, place to be before, during, and after the game. Marco Micheletto, the outswinger. The Rowdies trying to get on the scoreboard here in the 36th. Dolabella rising. Puts it into the sweet spot. Oh, Rowdies just need it. One last touch on it. Ball was in a great spot there. Jamali Waite, the safety valve here to collect. Dolabella. This is a nice ball to Vivi. Gino Vivi. Oh, good slide tackle that time as it was taken away.
Yeah, well-timed challenge there from the FC Naples defender. Vivi had players in the middle. Henderlong was making that run to that near post. Crucial interception there.
Ball is shot, and screamer again. Another one put on frame here. Coming right at Jamali Waite.
Yeah, off his foot, it looked like it was going to test weight a little bit more than it did. Ultimately, just unable to wrap his foot all the way around it, but he has a little bit too much time for me there to cut himself inside and have the opportunity to get that shot. Just a little bit tighter on the ball, a little bit more pressure on the ball. You don't want to allow the player to cut himself inside of that better foot.
So how about Jamali Waite? He was pretty much like a wall for the entire season, and then conceded 4 times last Saturday. Rowdies trying to stay on the attack here.
That was a great flick on there from Marco Micheletto over the top. For me in that situation, Conway, just keep driving at the goalkeeper. You don't need to cut it back. I know that the angle is getting a little bit tight, but you see this in the World Cup. You see this all the time. Players driving at defenders. You never know what could happen. Maybe you draw a foul, maybe something happens there, but when you're trying to cut back into that second defender, that's when it makes it a little bit more difficult. Just keep taking that touch forward, try to get a shot from that tight angle.
Julian Cisneros, 19 shots as he leads FC Naples in that category. Rowdies will bring it down here with Giannis Learman. Back and forth we go here. Still in the first half. Gino Vivi gets the Rowdies rolling, trying to get Vivi on the backside here, and just a little bit too far in front.
Things have just been a little bit off. You know, you see that from time to time. Some of these passes just aren't as crisp as they were at the beginning of the season. just not connecting the same way that they were able to. But these types of things happen from time to time, but cleaning these things up, trying to make it a little bit more crisp.
So now Joshua Grant. Naples building from the back here. Henderlong comes on to challenge. Nicely done. He's taken down from behind. And the Rowdies will have it in a pretty good spot. Rowdies could certainly use a goal here to get this crowd going.
Yeah, good job there by Henderlong. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Get yourself in front of that defender, feel a little bit of contact, hit the deck. This is a ball that's in a dangerous spot here. If they're able to put this ball over this back line of Naples, run underneath of it, there's situations where you see a lot of goals scored on different flicks or situations like that. So if it's a good ball in by Micheletto, you want to try to drop this ball right in on that PK spot. Give your players the opportunity to run underneath of it.
So it's Marco Micheletto here on the free kick. '41st minute. Rowdies looking for a spark. Here it comes. Ball in a great spot and scored. And it's Carson Henderlong rising above with the header to get the Rowdies on the board. Has he been good in the Prinx Tires USL Cup or what?
I was just about to say, he has something about this Prinx Tires Cup that makes Carson Henderlong come to life, because this is a great finish here. The first header we talked about how it needs to be snapped down, and this is excellent service from Marco Micheletto. I said you need to put it on the PK spot, let your players run underneath of it. Look where that ball ends up. Henderlong does a great job rising up over the ball, over his defender, redirecting it back where the ball came from. Nearly impossible for the goalkeeper to stop. Catches the defender a little bit flat-footed, and good on Carson Henderlong for rising up. Good on Carson Henderlong for the finish. He had a header opportunity a little bit earlier in the game that he wasn't able to snap down, but he makes no mistake about this one. Great service, great finish. And good on the Tampa Bay Rowdies for getting themselves a goal before halftime. They've been the better team so far. They've had more opportunities. And Henderlong able to make the most of that service.
Well, you talked about how Dominic Casciato wants to see more scoring options from the Rowdies. I think Henderlong certainly qualifies as that.
He's done a great job in this tournament, really taking the most of his opportunities when he has a chance to start. But for me, I mean, that service from Micheletto, it's picture perfect. You want to drop that ball. I talked about it right before he kicked it. You want to drop that ball right behind that back line. Try to find that PK spot. It's a difficult place for defenders to defend when they're running backwards. And credit Henderlong for getting himself up and over that defender, not using his hands, not drawing a foul, and redirecting it right where it needed to be, into the back of the net.
So Rowdies finally have broken the ice here at home. And with that goal, Rowdies will donate another $250 to Orlando Health Bayfront. And Tampa Bay having their way with interstate rivals Sarasota, Jacksonville, and Miami. Trying to add Naples to that list.
Yeah, if they ever get this one, I wonder if they do like a, like a mini state championship medal.
That'd be cool. Here's Micheletto now, spreading it wide. Lewis Hilton comes up, taps it over. Rowdies all of a sudden look like they've got some really nice fluidity.
Well, we've seen that in a couple of these. Let the ball come in here.
Hilton. And ball put back. Again, just a little bit off that time. Henderlong was in position. The floor. Able to get it back for the Rowdies. LaFleur will shoot it. Oh, great save. Rebound is there. Right in the 6-yard box and a tap in. Tampa Bay will score it. The flag is down. It's 2-0. Evan Conway.
There we go. This is more like the Tampa Bay Rowdies we've been used to seeing so far this season. It's a very good initial save from the goalkeeper. But just a better ball there from Dolabella. I thought LaFleur was going to go out wide with this. He opts to take that shot. It's a well-hit ball. Bend on it. Goalkeeper does a good job getting himself across. But look at this ball from Dolabella. Having an understanding of where his player is going to be, drives that ball back across in between the defenders of FC Naples. FC Naples would like to do a better job defensively with this one, but that's almost like a no-look pass that you see in basketball. And Evan Conway there, even though it's an easy tap in, I talked about the importance of getting Evan Conway on the score sheet. Putting balls in the back of the net, no matter how it looks, is great for confidence. So good on Conway for being in the right spot. Great ball there from Dolabella. And credit LaFleur for the effort that he had on that initial shot, doing a great job cutting himself inside.
And that ball by Dolabella was so good, it kind of froze the keeper, Joshua Grant.
It's kind of like a no-look pass that you see in basketball, like a behind-the-back no-look pass. I'll have to ask him if he actually knew that Conway was there after the game or not.
So 2-0, Rowdies double their lead. And a sigh of relief being felt right now inside this entire stadium. Busy halftime we've got for you. As we've got hometown memories being made, also a look around the league, USL Championship highlights and stats as well. It's all at the half. Be sure and join us. It's going to be fun. Halftimes are always better when the Rowdies have a lead as well. FC Naples now trying to answer. The Rowdies able to take it away. Good slide that time. Flick this one over 6 minutes here of extra time. A lot of the extra time, remember, came because the Leland Archer started the first minute and needed literally a few minutes to get up and leave the field. Rowdies losing him at the start of this game, kind of threw a wet blanket a little bit right at the start for Tampa Bay, but the Rowdies able to finally recover and now enjoy a 2-0 lead. But from that point, it kind of set a weird tone at the start. Sometimes when games start that way, Jeff, kind of sends a little bit of shock, and everybody's got to kind of adjust and look at each other, but it looks like Tampa Bay has made out okay. We just hope Leland is okay. Yeah, and you got to give Nate credit as well for coming in the game the way he did. I'm sure this wasn't a game that he was expecting to come into, especially when you're talking about coming in the first minute. So I thought he's done a good job of settling himself into this game as well. But we talk about it all the time. Goals change games. And especially in a game like this where FC Naples, they're the underdog in this setup. They're the team that's really trying to be the scrappy team that fights in this one. When you're able to get that first goal, it kind of settles things down. You're able to get that second goal, and you see a team start to drop their heads a little bit. So credit on the Tampa Bay Rowdies for staying consistent the way that they were in the attack. And along getting that first goal, and then you're starting to see this team settle down a little bit more like we're used to seeing. I really think that goal for Evan Conway is going to go a long way. He's a player that I think for the first half of the season, he really wasn't getting the opportunities or really getting his best foot forward. But he's a player that's really good at scoring goals in this league. He has a history of scoring goals in this league, and he was signed to do that. I thought in the last couple games he had different chances, he had different opportunities that just didn't go his way. But now that he's seen the ball hit the back of the net, no matter even if it's a tap in, forwards talk about it all the time. When you start seeing the ball hit the back of the net and it's coming off your foot, that gives you that type of confidence. So I'm really hoping that that's something that sparks him, because he'll be a huge part of this offense going forward if he's able to come to life. Yeah, that's a great point. Nicoletto now on the free kick for the Rowdies. Conway, just a perfect piece for the Rowdies. A guy who can come in, really offer a spark. Rowdies certainly need that firepower. This ball set in motion now. And look at the athleticism of Joshua Grant. Using that long frame to go up and get it. Jamali Wade's going to pick this one up just in time. Started the game 87 degrees, and that is still what the thermometer reads, even with the sun going down here. What's that time of year, right? The England-Norway game, it was feeling like it was 100 degrees outside. You have Vikings from Norway, and then the English playing pretty much in a sauna. So many times, though, throughout the past few weeks, it has looked like it is going to absolutely monsoon outside, and the sky's going to open up, and then it just blows over. It is incredible. Yeah, it's a really pretty backdrop tonight. Yeah.
I'll knock on wood for both of us, because you know how it is here in the summer. You never know when something's going to pop up.
That is for sure. Look at the beautiful view here.
What a shot by the cameras. You don't get that view just anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very unique to Al Lang Stadium.
Tap back here by Lewis Hilton. Jamali Waite, Dos Santos as well. Dos Santos, little elbow to the back. He'll go down. Cisneros trots away. And Nate take a little extra time to get up here for the Rowdies. All together, you see Dos Santos here. Former Marshall Thundering Herd. Played his college soccer up there in West Virginia. Part of the Charleston Battery last season before coming over to the Rowdies.
That's a smart play there from a veteran defender. He feels the forward coming on. He feels the charge. He feels the pressure. Just get yourself in front of him. Draw that contact. I think it might have hurt him a little bit more than he was expecting to, and he's getting up walking a little bit gingerly, but good recognition of the situation and good job drawing that foul.
So now Jamali Waite will let it go here. 4 minutes into extra time, 6 minutes the extra time total. Sebastian Cruz defending the ball here for the Rowdies. Micheletto right there as well. Being spread around here by FC Naples. Mainly going left to right, though, not going north-south. Throw in oncoming from Osorio. Altogether, pretty solid first half for the Rowdies. Again, they were not connecting, say, in the first 30 minutes or so. But play has certainly gotten better, and Dolabella's got to be careful. He'll draw yellow here in the 51st. Again, little too handsy that time.
Yeah, to me it's a little bit quick to go to the yellow card here in this situation, but it has been a chippy game. The ref's been calling it pretty tight. We said we want consistency, and he has been consistent from the first whistle. But again, you got to be careful, you know. A lot of times, yeah, a little bit of a push there. I think a lot of times too with the referees as well, they're quick to go to the yellow cards in situations where, you know, it makes it a little bit difficult for the player, because then they're forced in a situation where they can't get another one the rest of the game.
Now it's Taylor Gray. This shot will be taken. Oh, again, just past the post. So just about a foot off frame that time. Jamali Waite on guard, and that will take us to the end of the first half here at Al Lang Stadium. Dolabella again having a discussion with the official Jorge Escobar. As we have reached halftime, brought to you by Raymond James. 2-0 the Tampa Bay Rowdies lead Naples. And let's send it down now to Deandra Liu. Hey, Deandra.
Thanks, guys. Coach, after the last match, you talked about how important it was for your team to come out and get a good start. What have you liked about the way they came out tonight in the first half?
Yeah, I think after the water break, we showed the intensity and the urgency that we like to see. So pleased with that, and we want to continue that in the second half.
Any adjustments?
I don't think so.
Thanks so much. Guys.
So
I'm Spencer. Champion of savings. Because when it comes to saving money, no one saves like me. And when it's time to get a better rate for new or used wheels, Suncoast Credit Union has the best deal.
Refi your ride with Suncoast. Get $200 cash back and no payments for 90 days. Visit a branch or suncoast.com/auto refi.
Get influenced by me. Get pre-approved for an auto loan at Suncoast, and you'll love your rate as much as you love your ride.
That must be our new 500 times the cash scratch off. What a massive multiplier.
It's like I always say, go big or go bigger.
And it'll help us do huge things for education.
Donut? I'll take 500.
I'll get the multiplier.
Time's the cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
When we see you, we see ourselves. So the care you receive is exactly the kind of care we would want.
Great news. You're gonna be fine. You're all good.
Orlando Health. We make it personal.
Welcome to the Tampa Bay Rowdies halftime show, presented by Raymond James. The Rowdies enjoying a 2-0 lead on FC Naples, as Tampa Bay playing much better than a week ago. Couple goals in the first half to build upon. Coach Dominic Casciato says no adjustments right now need to be made. That is definitely a good sign. Well, tonight is International Soccer Night for the Rowdies. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, 12 Tampa Bay Rowdy players born outside of the United States, and certainly very proud of their nationalities.
I have immense pride in being from Trinidad. You know, growing up there has basically made me the man I am today. I stay in contact with a lot of friends, family back home, and you know, keep me connected to Trinidad as much as I can. Don't want to ever lose sight of that. I would say we're very multicultural. We have a lot of Indian influence in Trinidad, so a lot of the food, a lot of Indian food, Indian style food, curry-based food, roti, doubles.
Yeah, obviously, I grew up in England. I spent my whole childhood before coming to America at 18. Yeah, obviously, I had an amazing childhood in England. Going through the youth system at different clubs in England gave me a good opportunity to come out to America, and obviously eventually reach a dream of playing professionally. But yeah, I had an amazing time spending my whole childhood. Still got so many friends back in England. An amazing time in the education system in England, so I have a lot to be thankful for. Growing up and kind of setting the foundation of my life back in England.
Oh, some great representatives there for the Rowdies, Layden Archer and Lewis Hilton. 2-0 the score. Halftime show presented by Raymond James. Much more of it coming up next. The Rowdies in the lead here at Outlet.
Two champions loaded with USL history. Louisville City raised last year's Players' Shield, but the Pittsburgh Riverhounds took home the USL title. Contenders collide. Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Louisville City, Saturday, July 18th at noon Eastern on CBS.
Prinx tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinx tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
The Tampa Bay Rowdies are back at Al Lang Stadium for the 2026 season, with new players, new hunger, and new standards. But we can't do it alone. Talent alone doesn't win games. Your support matters. The atmosphere matters. Every rep, every sprint, every tackle, we are fighting for you. The season starts now. Join the fight and get your tickets at rowdysoccer.com. Come on, you Rowdies.
It is halftime in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. We hope you're enjoying the match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines. Last week in the championship, New Mexico United extended its league unbeaten streak to 5 matches with a 2-1 victory over Oakland Roots in front of more than 14,800 fans, the 4th largest crowd in franchise history. New Mexico's Christian Nava scored his first goal since the 2022 season, a remarkable comeback for a player that battled through 2 knee injuries over a 2-year period. Tonight, we close out group play in the Prinx Tires USL Cup, and 8 clubs will head to the quarterfinals. You can watch that quarterfinal draw on the USL's YouTube channel on Monday the 13th at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. USL is also gearing up for a national TV audience on Saturday the 18th. The title holders in the championship, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, host last season's Player Shield winners, Louisville City. That's a noon Eastern kickoff on CBS. And 2 more matches on CBS Sports Net, Sporting Jacks and Pittsburgh on the 15th. 2 days later, it's AC Boise and Portland Hearts of Pine. This is the USL Studio Halftime Update. I'm Dan Lucas. Now let's get you back out to your match.
All right, Dan, thank you so much. Tampa Bay Rowdies looking good in group number 7. 3 appearances, 3 victories, looking like it's going to be 4 after tonight. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but the Rowdies playing well. Miami FC, Sporting Jacks, Sarasota, and FC Naples. Rowdies.
Babe, are we out of paper towels?
I think so. And maybe a new toy for Sunny.
Already in my cart. Ooh, it's the newest viral tumbler.
I mean, we're getting instant cash back, so go for it.
Suncoast Cashback Plus gives you up to 20% back combined with your Suncoast Credit Union checking or savings account. From everyday purchases, dining out, or buying gift cards, you'll get cash back on the spot. Get started at suncoast.com/morecash.
When everything's on the line, real heroes rise to the occasion. Or die trying. We're firefighters. We're gonna find a way to get you out of here. We take the hits together.
We're on the same team.
I'm right here with you, no matter what.
I would never leave you hanging in the deep end.
This place is a way of giving you new family.
Fire Country, Sunday nights beginning at 8 on Tampa Bay 44.
Morgan Auto Group has the selection you need and the service you want, with over 28,000 vehicles across 70 dealerships and 28 brands. Plus, everything from basic maintenance to collision repairs, and over 20 years of service in the community. From our home in Tampa down to Southwest Florida to Miami and West Palm, across Central Florida, through Gainesville and Lake City, up to Jacksonville and our state capital. Shop Morgan Auto Group, Florida's largest automotive retailer. When you make it Morgan, we make it happen.
Welcome back to this Tampa Bay Rowdies broadcast as the Rowdies compete in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Prinx Tires, proud to be the presenting sponsor of this USL Cup, built for practical performance and the long haul as well. Prinx delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit PrinxTireUSA.com to learn more. Welcome back, everybody. Drew Felios, and we welcome back Jeff Attinella. Always nice to have a halftime where the Rowdies are the leaders as they turn things around in the first half. I definitely like the play. What'd you think?
Yeah, good energy, right?
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Throwing away that game last weekend and really coming in and having a positive first energy. And, of course, we talked about it. Goals change games. So they're able to get that first one. That really changed the flow of the game. Unfortunately for this one, it did have a little bit of a tough start. We saw a Leland injury. As we saw Leland Archer going down with that injury, he unfortunately had to go back to the locker room. So that threw off the vibes, as we talk about. It's so important in this game for a little bit. And this game has been very chippy. When we talk about the referee, he's been calling this game very tight. But that's because this is what's been going on throughout the course of the a little bit of ankle kicks, things along those nature. So the ref's doing a good job of making sure that the game is being called fair, but at the same time it's been very chippy, so that's why you're seeing a ton of these stoppages. But this is the moment, of course, that changed the course of this game. You talk about this ball coming in. It's a perfect ball for Marco Micheletto. Talked about the importance of putting a ball in a place where he can run underneath of it. And again here, so much skill here from Pedro Dolabella with a little no-look, almost behind the back, basketball-esque pass. Able to find an Evan Conway sitting there on the doorstep. Absolutely nothing else to do except pass that ball into the back of the net. So good on the Tampa Bay Rowdies for giving themselves this 2-0 lead. Dealing with that early injury, dealing with the chippiness, fighting through it, and putting themselves in a good position here for the second half. You're getting a look at the stats here. Possession's about 50-50. For me, I think that that's a little bit more of FC Naples taking the moment to have their opportunities to slow the game down. We talk about shots on target. Haven't suffered any shots on target. Naples did have a couple different opportunities. We're talking about shots from outside the box, but they just happen to go wide. So all things are good right now for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, but of course how you come out in the second half, that's going to be an important part of this game.
So ready to start half number 2. Under the lights here at Al Lang. Again, a little bit hot and humid tonight, but I'll tell you what, the visuals are something else. As the sun went down, sky turned a bit orange. And the Rowdies in their USA kits tonight, delivering so far for the home side. Marco Micheletto, big part of that. He, along with Lewis Hilton, just that interior, spreading the ball around, doing the little things. And the tempo of the home side has been great. FC Naples, meanwhile, had some moments, did get a couple shots on frame. But let's see what they have left here in the second half. Again, 5-10-2 coming into tonight. And their interim head coach, Zach Gordon. Deandra Liu, our sideline reporter, said that he and Dominic Casciato were kind of going at it just a little bit. And that's not something that is uncommon for head coaches to get a little chirpy on the benches.
Yeah, you know, it's a passion game to be a head coach, and every now and then being in close proximity, maybe you hear something that you don't like, but at the same time, I think that, you know, being a head coach, you're just as competitive as you are as a player on the field. So sometimes emotions get fired up, and I think as long as everybody keeps it somewhat kosher, we're in a good spot.
Second half underway. Rowdies and FC Naples thrilled you're with us. Tampa Bay's 44 and ESPN Plus. Dolabella gets on the ground. Tampa Bay attacks immediately. Naples, few changes there as they send Kevin O'Connor into the game. Aiden Macias, his night is through. Also, Andres Fedin, the Colombian, will start half number 2. Taylor Gray heads to the bench. See if the substitutions do anything for the visitors. And for the Rowdies, again, you've got MD Myers as an option. Cicerone, Luis Perez, Charlie Alstra, Max Schneider as well. Tampa Bay now surging forward. Getting inside the 18. It ends there. Little wraparound though. Nicely done. Heads up by Pedro Dolabella. Boy, he is really, really active tonight.
Well, he's somebody that really provides a spark for the team offensively. But this is what I like from Gino. He doesn't come off here, but it's just driving at the back line. You put your back line on your heels when you're driving at players like that. Make them a little bit more nervy defensively. Make them backpedal a little bit more. That way more passes open up. You draw more defenders your way. His last touch there was a bit heavy, but keep driving at the back line. Keep forcing them on their heels. Make life uncomfortable for a back line.
I mentioned Dolabella. It was Henderlong that time who has the first goal for the Rowdies. Came off a header.
We're going to start calling it Mr. Prinx Tires Cup.
Mad scramble now for it. Getting it to it first is Sebastian Cruz. Dolabella comes back as well. Dolabella playing under a yellow. And now Naples sensing an opportunity, trying to get it in front here. And in his first start, Giannis Learman for the Rowdies making that deflection, will have a corner.
He's been pretty solid there, man, tonight. I think he's done a good job of keeping things simple, keeping things in front of him. Been solid in the air. Good job tracking the forwards. He's the player that's going to need to step up now with a little bit of these injuries that we've been seeing.
So this is Chris Garcia doing the honors. 4 goals for him on the season for FC Naples. 3 assists as well. He has filled the stat sheet. He's the in-swinger. Jamali Waite, the man in red for the Rowdies.
This is a moment where you really want to see the Tampa Bay Rowdies get the next goal. You hear it in soccer all the time. The 2-0 lead is a dangerous one because of the momentum that can be swung if Naples was able to get one. For me, if the Rowdies are able to get that third one, that's when you know they're going to be a little bit more comfortable in how this game's been playing out.
Jamali Waite came into this contest tonight, 239 saves. That is quite a career here in USL Championship.
And still a lot of years ahead of him as well.
Sebastian Cruz now on the throw-in. Hilton. Far side, it's to the floor. Lewis Hilton, great hearing from him at halftime. All the pride he has growing up in England as a youngster, describing what it was like to play soccer. I love hearing those stories and contrasting it here to life in the United States.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, if you really want to dive into Lewis Hilton a little bit, get to know him a little bit more, and you talk about the situation that he was in as a player this year. So many new players in the locker room. He's really one of the guys that stuck around, one of the veteran presences. And he talked about, you know, the dynamic of what it was like welcoming people, the help that he had to do. Apparently Marco Micheletto took a long time to find his apartment. He was searching more than anybody. So just awesome behind the scenes stories if you're diving into this Tampa Bay Rowdies team. I encourage you to check out the Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast, get to know these guys a little bit more off the field.
Absolutely love it. Dolabella settles it now. The Rowdies keep in shape. Learman a part of that. Gino Vivi as well. Milton comes up, takes care of it for the Rowdies, squeezing a pass through, and now Tampa Bay working in tight spaces. Vivi just outside that 18-yard box, gets his feet tied up just a little bit there, and the ball will belong to Naples.
Yeah, we talk about the chippiness there, trying to get his foot in there, try to win that ball back, but if you're Naples, you feel that contact, draw the foul.
Well, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, and so much more. All of Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app with USL MLS, and so much more coming your way. Sirius XM FC 157, Tuesday 7 Eastern Time. Rowdies now trying to post it up in the box. Lewis Hilton able to get in there. Ball was deflected out. And the floor comes to save the day, and the Rowdies will spread it around here. Micheletto.
I love that from the Tampa Bay Rowdies there in that build-up. Dive a little bit more after we see this go down.
Micheletto always under control. Dolabella has it as well. Dolabella trying to do it again, and Micheletto just kind of looked down. The ball was right there at his feet as he shot it to Joshua Grant. And Grant able to get on the dirt.
And that situation happens from about 3 minutes of hard work there from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. The ball turns over, but the Rowdies are able to press. They keep pressing, win the ball back, and they keep smothering this Naples defense. Good job there by Micheletto recognizing the ball pops out there, but it's that constant wave of pressure that we're used to seeing from this Rowdies group that creates them so many different opportunities. And they did a great job of that for the last few minutes.
Julian Cisneros. He'll go down, try and draw a foul, and he will. Evan Conway gets caught up that time.
It's a good job backtracking here defensively from Conway. Just a little bit late there on the challenge. But he recognizes that the right back cruises out. Conway does a good job tracking from that forward spot. You just don't want to see him commit that foul there at the end, because now Naples has a spot or a free kick in a dangerous spot.
So Jamali Waite, clean sheet thus far for the Rowdies. Kevin O'Connor, the Irishman, on top of this one, he'll handle the set piece. 3 assists on the year for him. Chris Garcia also, well, actually it'll be Garcia here handling the duties. Rowdies have not allowed a goal. Defense been solid. They want to keep it that way. This guy Garcia, though, is dangerous. Here he is. And that one rockets up towards the scoreboard, and those Rowdies banners against the wall.
Yeah, he was thinking shot all the way. I think in that situation, that's a tough place to beat a goalkeeper like Jamali Waite. Of course, easy to say after the fact, but I'm going to try to drop that ball in. There was so much space there between the wall and then that next defender for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It created a really big gap. If you're Naples, try to find somebody that can run into that gap, run underneath the ball.
Lewis Hilton directing traffic here for the Rowdies. Trying to lay one out. This is a pretty good ball. Rowdies able to get to it. It's Vivi. At this point, just sizing things up. Still have a lot of soccer to play. Do you favor any substitute over another, Jeff? Let's take a look at this run, and love to hear your take.
I think right now the team's in a pretty good rhythm, and if you can, you know, it's the dog days of summer. We talked about this. If you can keep the guys that are normally starting, not have to punish, not I was going to say punish is not the right word, but not have them step out on the field, give them the opportunity to rest. Maybe you bring on MD Myers a little bit later in the game. Maybe you bring on Russell Cicerone a little bit later in the game. Give them about 20 minutes or so to get a good run in. But for me right now, I like the rhythm that I'm seeing out of this group. I think that they're passing the ball well. They're having an understanding of where each other's going to be on the field. So for me, any subs that you see at this point, it's going to be a little bit more about maintaining and really trying to get players minutes, or maybe getting guys off the field that have been playing a little bit more than they were expecting. Usually in these types of games, there's different moments, right? Or there's different plans for coaches going into it. And if the game goes to script, which I'd imagine it's going to script for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, you might see a little bit of substitution patterns that are a little bit more predetermined than you'd be used to seeing.
And again, a giveaway. Rowdies will take full advantage. Hilton and Nicoletto right now. Really good chemistry between those two. This is Julian Cisneros. And again, Tampa Bay gets it right back, and here they come. It's Conway. Evan Conway already a goal tonight. Trying to create an angle. Oh, nearly tucked it inside that far post. Again, you can just see the confidence after scoring that goal in the first half.
And it's starting to build up for him, right? Like, this is the Evan Conway that we're used to seeing in the USL, not afraid to take players on. And he does a good job here. I thought it was a little bit tough to cut that ball to the right with the type of traffic that was in, but he does a good job. He gets that ball through the defender's legs. You've even seen that throughout the World Cup. These good forwards, they know the opportunity. When that defender takes that step, put that ball in between the legs, try to get it between the wickets, and that ball almost had eyes for that side net. It would have been an absolute golazo if he was able to pull that off. This is the pressing that we're used to seeing from the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
And just since Naples just not comfortable, courtesy of the Rowdies. Here trying to get an opportunity. LaFleur able to put him between the player and ball. We're going to have a yellow dealt out right here.
It seems like, to me, it just seems like Dos Santos and LaFleur, they're just not on the same page here. Dos Santos is ultimately the one that creates this foul, but if you look at the position of the players, LaFleur ends up taking that center back spot, and Dos Santos is the one that steps out. I want to see LaFleur a little bit wider. I was saying that offensively, but get yourself a little bit wider defensively as well. Your center back shouldn't need to step into that gap to try to win that ball. That should be your outside back.
Free kick on the way for the visitors. Again, second season in existence for FC Naples. 5 victories on the year. Chris Garcia will try and put it into the mixer here. And it's Shamali Waite in position.
Good confident goalkeeping there from Waite.
Dolabella and Cruz for the Rowdies. Sebastian Cruz. What I love about his game, he is just so tough. Stands his ground. Here he is, trying to create an angle. Rowdies will try and spread it around here. Vivian has his touch, and now Hilton.
Cruz is also so versatile. We talked about it all season long. He's played right back, he's played right wing, he's played center mid. Just creates a lot of different options for Dominic Casiano.
Sebastian Cruz again. Trying to find Conway this time. Cisneros there to cut it off. Rowdies will have a throw here on the near side. Jeff, I know we always talk about Rowdies here, rightfully so, being Tampa Bay Rowdies television, but definitely want to hear some analysis on the United States performance on Monday night from you, if we can squeeze it in some point here in this match. As Conway able to send it back quickly, and Micheletto able to lift it. Go, Jeff, the floor is yours.
Yeah, for this U.S. team, I think it was pretty unfortunate because I think that the way that they came out in this game, you know, in those big moments, you need your best players to be the best players on the field for your team. And unfortunately, I think that so much of their game was dependent on the wingers being good. And for the U.S. in that game, it was Christian Pulisic and Serginho Dest on the wings, and they didn't really do a good job of keeping the ball. Every time that they ended up getting the ball would turn over, and there was just so much space. And anytime the ball turns over like that consistently, that drags the midfield out of position and everybody's in a little bit of panic mode. So forced the defense in a lot of 1v1 situations that I don't think our center backs were prepared for. And then at the same time, I just don't think that the urgency was there. You know, I spent a lot of time talking about this game, and for me, it just seemed like something was off in terms of, you know, their preparedness for the game, their readiness for the game, and it just seemed like they were a step slow to everything, which, you know, in a round of 16, arguably the biggest game that U.S. Soccer's had in a long time. You know, as somebody that really tries to champion this sport and really champion the U.S. group throughout this World Cup, it was just disappointing to see because I don't think that they approached it with the right mentality, or maybe the moment felt a little bit too big for them. But technically they were off, and if you're technically off and then you're not up for the game in terms of, you know, matching the physicality, then that's just a bad recipe.
And also some of the untimely goals. They were able to pull level at one, and then the goal that they conceded about a minute after that really hurt.
Yeah, just no opportunity to really use that home field momentum. You know, you tie that game 1-1, 1,000% against a run of play. And then for Belgium to be able to score 1 minute later, it seems like those fans in Seattle weren't even able to get down to their seats.
So here's FC Naples trying to create an opportunity. They get a shot on, but Shamali Waite right there to gobble it up. Now, that is a play right there where if you're playing Charleston or if you're playing Louisville, that's a goal.
Absolutely. So I think on this one, the defense is squeezed in a little bit too tight. That ball turns over. Sebastian Cruz does do a good job of forcing the shooter into a difficult situation there, but if he's able to slip that ball one more wide, the Rowdies were a little bit tight. They had numbers. Fortunately for the Rowdies, FC Naples not able to capitalize on this opportunity, but if he's able to get one more pass wide, there were options there. But you see how many different Tampa Bay Rowdies are converging to the middle of the field.
This ball kept alive here. Chris Garcia. And Cisneros all over the place here for Naples. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Suncoast Credit Union. More perks, less fees. Join Suncoast today. Taking it away is Cruz. Gave it right back though. Trying to get Micheletto there, back door. Down through the center circle. FC Naples. Again, they pick up the pace just a bit here. Well, if they can just get one, that second will come much easier. Dolabella going down this time, and the Rowdies will have possession. Dolabella has been in some real physical moments here tonight for Tampa Bay.
He's pleading his case. We saw at halftime. He's pleading his case for a yellow card here. Late challenge, kind of similar foul that he was getting a yellow for. He's a player that wouldn't be surprised me if he's a sub that's coming off. He's been working hard this game. He's logged a lot of minutes this season as well. He's somebody that you absolutely want to keep healthy. So if he's one of these early substitutes, that wouldn't surprise me.
Pedro seems to be that guy that usually talks to the official first. Of course, you've got your captain. Game in and game out.
Yeah, he likes to have good conversation, I think.
Yes, I think so.
A fan of talking. We understand that, though. We like to have conversations.
Joshua Grant now. And a goal kick for FC Naples. So Rowdies, a performance last week that left a lot to be desired. They have bounced back up to this point with the 2-0 lead. And it looks like a couple substitutions here for the Rowdies, as we are going to see Max Schneider on the right there and Luis Perez also enter the match. So Vivi going to come out for the Rowdies after his first start in a Tampa Bay uniform. And it looks like Evan Conway, his night may be done here, I believe. No, will be Dolabella, as you said, Jeff, and I think the right call there.
Yeah, he's put in a good shift, and I think for Max Schneider as well, he's somebody that didn't necessarily put his best foot forward in the last game. So get him some quality minutes, get him back into the rhythm, because he's been such an important part of the Tampa Bay Rowdies group this season.
And substitutions continue to be made for FC Naples. Jalen Yearwood entering. And the night for Julian Cisneros is done. He put in a heck of a shift. Doing a lot of work here tonight.
This is a game where the Rowdies still need to be a little bit careful. You have this 2-0 lead. Things seem comfortable. Not many shots on goal for this FC Naples side, but you don't want to let them build themselves back into this game.
Jalen Yearwood right there. Good start to his career playing for Orlando City in their B team. Finds himself now with FC Naples, brand new franchise. Chance to really make his mark there. So here's Tampa Bay on the front foot. Marco Micheletto trying to get a pass behind. He does just that. Rowdies able to cut it back here. Conway maybe held it just a little bit too long.
Yeah, I talked about it in the first half as well. When you have those opportunities in on those 1v1s, one cut's okay, but once you get to one cut, two cut, that's when the defenders are going to be able to get that backtracking in.
They're offside there.
That's something I'd like to see Conway just add to his game. Can he get that first explosive touch a little bit more towards goal? It seems like that first touch, it keeps it a little bit close to his foot, which forces him into a situation where he need to cut back. But on those through balls, take that first touch a little bit more aggressive towards goal. Give yourself the opportunity to get in 1v1 with the goalkeeper a little bit quicker.
Well, here in soccer season, SeatGeek is here. They are the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. 2-0 Rowdies, 66th minute here at Al Ain Stadium. Drew Felios, Jeff Attinella, Deandra Liu, and our Tampa Bay Rowdies crew bringing you the action. Bit of a slow start for the Rowdies. They lost Leyland Archer in the first minute of this game. Tampa Bay able to bounce back though. Nate Dos Santos comes in, fills that void. And the Rowdies have notched a couple goals courtesy of Carson Hinderlong and Evan Conway. Player down on that far side.
I do like this center mid pairing that we have here of Max Schneider and Lewis Hilton. I think they do a good job of providing coverage for the center backs. Excited to see them get the chance to work together a little bit more here. Yeah, we're talking about the chippiness there.
Isaiah LaFleur going down that time.
Isaiah, CD 11. Isaiah, step back, you come. Louis,
So here it comes from the Rowdies. Into the box, immediately cleared. Cruz and Tampa Bay chasing it down. And this is Max Schneider. Hinderlong went to the deck. Now it's Yearwood. Ball gets through. Tampa Bay got to get defenders back here. Nato Santos will tap it off a Naples player, and the Rowdies will have it. And it looks like we're headed to our second hydration break of the night. And 86 degrees right now on the thermometer. Nato Santos, I think in the grand scheme of things, this guy, one of the most valuable Rowdies so far this season. Rowdies without Forrest Lasso, who went off into retirement after the end of last year. Tampa Bay needed a good dominant defender, and he has stepped into that role. A bit undersized, but he is certainly up to the task.
Well, he's really been a leader for this group as well. You know, he's a player that's been getting the captain armband more times than not. So just goes to show what his performances and really what his consistency has meant to this group.
Great to see Rowdies fans tonight at the park. Those Tampa Bay watch parties have been fun, watching the United States national team perform. Al Lang has been jumping as of late. And
we're going to miss the watch parties.
Oh, man.
We're going to miss them, Drew. We're going to miss them, Drew.
Wasn't it?
It was a good run.
Oh.
It was a good run. Admittedly, I'm still pretty sad.
You know what's sad? After all that has transpired, as much fun we've had the past month, I mean, we could very well not see anything like that the rest of our lives.
You know, I didn't want to think about it that doom and gloom, but it was certainly an opportunity. You know, I think that we talked about the U.S. game a little bit more, and I think the thing that really makes me sad about the way that that ended was that it was just such a great opportunity. You know, the team that they had was the most talented in terms of individual talent that we've seen from a U.S. group. They were playing at such a high level. The way that they were able to move the ball, the way that they were able to attack, and then just knowing that it was on home soil, the way that I think that America's done a great job. Mexico and Canada as well. I think all the nations have done a great job of hosting this World Cup, making it a lot of fun. The venues have been on full display, and people are blown away by the venues, especially here in the States. And just knowing that you had that cup at home, that opportunity on home turf, and then for it to end the way that it did, I think that that's just it kind of adds to kind of the sadness of how it all wrapped up for us.
All things considered, though, even though that game did not go the way they had liked, I still think U.S. Soccer made some strides in this World Cup.
I think so as well. I mean, I think that their style of play, they've been trying to evolve their style of play throughout the years. It started with Greg Berhalter, and then Pochettino kind of picked it up and took it and ran with it. But at the same time, you know, I talked about it before this World Cup started. They said, what does success look like and what are the expectations? And I thought, you know, we have to get to the round of 32. We have to beat a team we're supposed to beat. And for U.S. Soccer to take that next step, they need to beat a country that they're ranked lower than. And that's been a problem for U.S. Soccer. And, you know, unfortunately, it was just another round of 16 exit. But the style of play is there, the talent's there, and now it's just about continuing to develop the talent and build within the system that they're trying to create.
FC Naples here with possession. Rowdies getting in position defensively. Chris Garcia still working out there. Kemper Auto knows your journey, and they will help you along the way. They're affordable, they're personalized auto insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today at Kemper.com. Two 2-0 lead for the Rowdies. Led for most of this contest. Opening goal by Carson Hinderlong, who has been just awesome in Prinx Tire's USL Cup play. Sebastian Cruz. Again, 2-0, considered the most dangerous lead you can have in soccer. So, although you're happy to be a Rowdies fan right now, you are not completely comfortable. As you said, Jeff, an extra goal here would certainly let everybody breathe easier.
And of course, you always want to get a goal in front of this kind of casual and Ralph's mob as well. I think for me, I think the important thing right here is can the Rowdies dictate the flow of this game? Even up 2-0, can you dictate how this game is going to be played in terms of your possession, making Naples chase, really just get back to that dominant performance, those dominant performances that we've been seeing.
Rowdies sharing it here. Yannis Learman comes out of center circle, had it tipped away from behind. And now Lewis Hilton scrambles back. Mad rush forward here for the visiting side. Jalen Yearwood places it in front of the box. Hilton there to intercept. Rowdies the other way. Evan Conway, one of the 2 goals tonight. Marco Micheletto running right there with him. Here's Micheletto left side. Dolabella trying to get in position. Conway was as well as that sails over everybody.
Yeah, I think that's just a little bit tired legs there from Micheletto. On a hot night like this, making that overlapping run in the 73rd minute. Cross just not executed. I credit that more to the heavy legs than anything else.
So we'll have a throw here by Naples. Substitution set to be made here for Tampa Bay. MD Myers will come in. Carson Henderlong, his night will be through. So wholesale substitutions made. Isaiah LaFleur, his night is done. That's Gennaro Negro for the Rowdies.
And this is a welcome sight for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. He's a player that came into the preseason. He was a big signing here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Dealing with injuries, worked his way back onto the field. And this is one of those things where when a player works himself back from injury and he gets back this time of the season, it almost feels like one of those big mid-season signings that you make.
So Gennaro Negro, his first game day as a Tampa Bay Rowdy. Man, you got to think there's some butterflies going right now through him.
Yeah, a little bit of butterflies, but also a little bit of excitement.
Yeah.
You know, he's a player that's been putting the work in behind the scenes, doing everything he can to get himself back healthy. And like I said, I mean, he's a big signing that the Tampa Bay Rowdies had in the offseason. A lot of high expectations for this player, so it's great to see him back on the field and, you know, just provide a boost, just provide one of those little extra boosts that you need at this time of the year.
Also good to see MD Myers out there. He's got 3 USL Cup goals here. Naples, numbers 4. Time and space to work with now. Shot away. Deflected once again towards the keeper. Turn to CBS, July 18th, USL Championship Eastern Conference Showdown. Pittsburgh takes on Louisville City, a must-watch. Saturday, July 18th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. 2 of the most successful clubs in USL Championship and 2 arch rivals of the Rowdies facing off.
Those are the types of matchups that we need to keep an eye on now for the Tampa Bay Rowdies as we start to get ourselves a little bit closer to the second half of the season. You don't want to do any. You don't really want to do any standing watching too early in the year, but this is that time of year where you start to watch all the other results, see who's collecting points, see who the hotter teams are. We ran into a really hot Lexington team. They're going to start making a little bit more stride, so it's a good game to do a little bit of watching, a little bit of scouting if you're a Tampa Bay Rowdies fan.
Lewis Hilton picks up a loose ball here. Rowdies, oh, this one gets through. It's Evan Conway. Conway trying to get a shot on it, deflects off of Grant, the keeper.
We talked about having that positive first touch. That's better there from Evan Conway. The ball comes in, no cutbacks, just that positive first touch towards goal. He's on a tight angle here. He opts for the shot, but he did have Emily Myers making this run. It's a good ball in here from Lewis Hilton. You see Emily Myers alone in front of the net. Not sure Conway had an idea that he was there. But I like that positive first touch. That's a sign in the right, that's a step in the right direction. I like that positive first touch towards goal.
Ralph's Mob right now active, wanting a goal here from the Rowdies, as the Rowdies face them right now. Micheletto trying to squeeze one through. This ball will stay in here for Joshua Grant, and Naples to collect. Chris Garcia. Luis Perez. He's done everything he could to draw contact tonight. I think the officials letting them play a little bit more here in the second half than they did in the first.
Yeah, and Garcia just made it a little bit too of a meal of that one. The ball was clearly going out of bounds. Luis Perez just shielding him out. Pretty standard play there, and Garcia almost forced the contact and dropped himself on his back. So good job there from the referee swallowing his whistle. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Hilton provides.
Conway on top of it. Conway tries to put it in front.
Just a player in the center of the park that's not afraid to spray the balls side to side. Especially when we're dealing with teams that are going to pack it in a little bit more. You're seeing Naples in a little bit more of a block.
Look at this shot from distance. Nearly found a spot top shelf. That was some kind of contact.
Good on the goalkeeper here for FC Naples, being alert to this shot. This shot was hit from about 35 yards out. Almost able to find that top corner. Talk about Gino. Welcome to the side. About a 30-yard shot out. Had eyes for that top corner. Good job by the goalkeeper there, shuffling. Ends up hitting the post, but good job moving his feet and getting a hand up. I'm not sure anybody really expected that ball to get on frame the way that it did.
So Colony Grill corner kick coming your way. Great thin crust pizza since 1935. We loved it in the pregame. Marco Micheletto, the end swinger. Rowdies trying to get their third goal of the night. And skates across here, and the Rowdies will do it again from the other side. You know what I miss? Leo Fernandez taking these corners time and again. He was so good at it.
Well, I think he's up there watching with the scouting department, so maybe we can see if he still has it in him.
I guarantee you he does.
Got a chance to watch Leo play in that TST tournament. It was fun to watch him. It was fun to watch him out there do his thing again.
Such a great asset to this Rowdies organization for such a long time. Nato Santos hustling back here for Tampa Bay. The official mortgage partner of the Rowdies is Union Home Mortgage. They are your partner from first homes to refinance. You can get started with UHM today by visiting UHM.com to learn more. That's UHM.com.
There should be a yellow card here from the referee, and it's just after the play. Just unnecessary here from the attack for FC Naples. The ball is clearly gone. Goes through Nato Santos' back. Easy yellow card there from the referee, and just really an unnecessary challenge.
Andres Fedin.
Again, look at it here. The ball is clearly gone. It's just that little push to the back.
So even though it's light, the fact that there was absolutely no reason for it kind of warrants the foul.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's no reason. I mean, it's not like he's trying to slow down his momentum or anything like that. There's just no reason to put two hands to somebody's back.
So no goals so far here in half number 2. Rowdies trying to continue to play here on Naples half. MD Myers does his job, gets it forward. Here's Perez working. Perez tries to center it a little bit behind his teammate. Picked up by the number 30, Settle.
Look at his backtracking here from Sebastian Cruz, 81st minute.
This is Chris Garcia. He is the straw that stirs the drink here for FC Naples. That time just misfired. He is very aggressive, though. Got to give him some credit.
Yeah, has 3 goals on the season, handful of assists as well. You can tell he's a dynamic player, I'm sure. You know, within this league, he's one of the better players within the league. Does a great job creating. Hasn't really been able to find that rhythm tonight, but I think that's more of a credit to the Tampa Bay Rowdies defense and doing a good job of making sure that the 1v1 defending's been on point. He's one of the better players for this FC Naples group.
Wind has picked up a little bit here at the park as Jamali Wade will send it in motion here for the Rowdies.
You see just the strength of MD Myers on that one. Center back climbing on his back. Does a good job just standing his ground.
Now Lewis Hilton come near side with it. Perez sharing it with Hilton. Just watch Hilton do his thing and just how everybody kind of just feeds off him. Here's Perez coming back for Tampa Bay. Perez will cut it back, trying to get an angle. Will shoot. Ball comes off the keeper. Rowdies on the rebound. And again, it's Joshua Grant. That's a good piece of goalkeeping by the Naples keeper.
Yeah, good couple of saves here. Really surprised that Louis Perez was able to put this ball in the back of the net. Again, and look at the save. Opts to try to cut it back to that near post. I thought he was going to open up to far post. He's there for the rebound as well, but you know what Louis Perez wants to do when he has the opportunity to cut the ball to his left foot. He's going to cut that ball, look for his opportunity to shoot, try to cut it back to that near side. A little surprised he didn't open up his hips, but it's a good save there from the goalkeeper, and then an even better job on the rebound, getting himself across the goal.
Oh, look at that tie-up right there. MD Myers being held and then wrestled down. And that will certainly warrant a yellow.
MD Myers, even when he doesn't show up on the score sheet, he's a player that really just puts in a lot of this dirty work. There's a lot of focus on him. He's obviously one of the better forwards in this league, so people are aware of his abilities. And when you're one of the better forwards, this is what you deal with. You deal with fouls, you deal with situations where people are going to make your life tough, and just almost a bear hug there. Making sure that he isn't able to make that run in behind.
So Tristan Rose dealt the yellow, hanging on for dear life. Does FC Naples have a goal in them here tonight on the road? Rowdies trying to preserve the shutout.
That's an important part of this game too, right? This is Tampa Bay Rowdies defense that is used to not giving up many goals. Gave up 4 goals on the weekend, last weekend. Get yourself back to keeping clean sheets. Get yourself back to that consistency that you're used to seeing. That's how you get the good. That's how you get the good vibes back within the group.
Rowdies able to win it back. It's Perez working out of the center circle here. Look at the hustle from Cruz. Cruz is open. Sebastian Cruz has an angle. Oh man, you'd love to book that.
Yeah, you see what he's trying to do here, and I mean, credit Cruz for this effort. We've been talking about him all game. The way that he's been running up and down this sideline in the 86th minute. You see the idea here. He wants to put this ball back across, give it to the opportunity for one of the forwards to get underneath of it, but there's just nobody up there with him. Almost in that situation, just a little bit too unselfish. You can put your head down and have a shot on goal with that as well. a little bit late.
So yellow gonna be dealt here to the Rowdies. And it'll be Luis Perez. Perez just dynamic at the start of the year for Tampa Bay. Been a little bit quiet as of late. Altogether, Perez has 3 goals on the season for the Rowdies. One more look at this one.
Easy one there for the referee. I think that was when the Garcia earned a little bit more than the last one that we saw.
Luis Perez acquired from North Carolina FC. And a former UCF Knight. I know you don't like to hear that.
Boo. There's a few UCF Knights out there.
Sebastian Cruz gets a head on it. Now FC Naples on top of it. Slowly nearing the end of regulation time here. Perez. And the Rowdies able to win it back.
Can the Rowdies kill this game with possession? That's what you want to see from this group. Can you kill this game out with possession? Maybe create yourself one opportunity, but at this stage in the game, you know, a confident team, a team that's good on the ball, they're able to kill this game out with possession.
Altogether, solid night for Giannis Learman. As he is a factor right there, the number 5 for Tampa Bay. Has passed his first test as a starter, being part of that back line with Nate Dos Santos. So Tampa Bay will have a goal kick here. We'll come to the end of the 90 minutes.
I know Dos Santos wasn't expecting to play tonight, but the way that things are shaking out at the center back spot, it's good for them to get this 90 minutes under their belt. There's something about a center back pairing where you just need to be on the same page. You need to understand where the other person's going to be. There's so much one person covering for the other. So the more minutes, the more time that they're able to spend together, the more they get into that type of rhythm, the more they get a better understanding.
Perez in Tampa Bay trying to take it away. 4 minutes extra time here. 4 minutes. Tampa Bay already, they have qualified for the quarterfinals of the Prinx Tires USL Cup, so they came in tonight in great shape. They're going to stay perfect. It's looking like here after this night is done.
State champs.
Again, Sarasota, Jacksonville, Miami, all of those sides going down courtesy of the Rowdies and this Prinx Tires USL Cup. Now they're going to get to the quarterfinals, and interesting to see where the Rowdies will fare from here.
That's where the real fun of this tournament starts, once you get to those knockout stages. You play this game to win trophies, so you get yourself out of the group stage, immediately into a quarterfinal. Next thing you know, you're 3 wins away from lifting the hardware, so going to be really exciting to see where the draw is. Hopefully it's here at Allen Stadium if you're a Tampa Bay Rowdies fan. You'll learn more about that on Monday, but you know, it's an exciting time. You have everything in front of you if you're this group, so they put themselves in a really good spot.
Hilton. Perez now handling it.
There's a little bit of frustration there from Ernie Myers. He's making that good run off the center back's back. Finds himself in behind space. I think that's been some of the problems as well. You know, Evan Myers, he's making these really, really smart runs. You got to feed your number 9 when he does those types of things.
Max Schneider doing a good job right in the middle of the park for the Rowdies right now. And number 23 having an impact since being subbed in. And the Rowdies right now just playing a little bit of keep away. Jeff, you mentioned it. Now's the time to just start thinking, hey, let's just possess this ball and get out of here with a victory.
You'd rather kill a game off with the ball. That's when you have the most fun. Keep the ball, move the ball around, keep that possession.
Exactly the game the Rowdies needed. You consider all things. Fairly convincing performance. They've kept FC Naples off the score sheet. And the 2 goals in the first half, courtesy of Carson Henderlong and Evan Conway. So the 2 best goal scorers, Myers and Cicerone, don't start tonight for the Rowdies, but again, they find other resources, other ways to score. That's going to be vital moving forward here in the second half of the season. Going down again is a Rowdy. I believe it's Conway out there. And it'll be Tampa Bay possession here in the final seconds.
Well, this has just been a really professional performance here from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. You have a Naples team that's coming in here. You know that they want to try to pull off an upset. They have an interim coach, so there's a different sense of energy within the group. A Tampa Bay Rowdies team that is essentially playing for pride and making sure that they're able to get all wins in their group play. Didn't necessarily need the win, but everything's been very professional. Defensively, they did a good job keeping things in front of them. They've done a solid job in possession. They got the goals that they needed. I think the goals came a little bit later than they were expecting, but they did a good job staying patient. Got their goals in the game, and now they're just doing a great job seeing this one out in the second half.
So Naples will throw it in on their side, and this is going to be it. Full time as the Rowdies will take it 2-0 over FC Naples. Dominic Casciano and interim head coach Zach Gordon of FC Naples embrace. Those two having a few words throughout the course of this match, all friendly though when the night is through. The Rowdies get a clean sheet and a shutout here in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. We'll wrap things up and look forward when we return to downtown St. Pete.
The Tampa Bay Rowdies are back at Al Lang Stadium for the 2026 season with new players, new hunger, and new standards. But we can't do it alone. Talent alone doesn't win games. Your support matters. The atmosphere matters. Every rep, every sprint, every tackle, we are fighting for you. The season starts now. Join the fight and get your tickets at rowdysoccer.com. Come on, you Rowdies.
Morgan Auto Group has the selection you need in the service you want with over 28,000 vehicles across 70 dealerships and 28 brands. Plus, everything from basic maintenance to collision repairs and over 20 years of service in the community. From our home in Tampa down to Southwest Florida to Miami and West Palm, across Central Florida, through Gainesville and Lake City, up to Jacksonville and our state capital. Shop Morgan Auto Group, Florida's largest automotive retailer. When you make it Morgan, we make it happen.
Your love of driving started early. As you zoomed down your imaginary highway, someone was always there to protect you, to make sure you're still covered. Kemper Auto knows your journey and will help you along the way. Affordable, personalized auto insurance you can count on. Get a quote today.
The type of response the Rowdies needed after last week. 2-0 to score. Tampa Bay takes care of FC Naples here in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. And for the Rowdies, several outstanding performances, but one really sticks out, that of Evan Conway. Deandra Liu is right there with him. Hey, Deandra.
Thanks, guys. Evan, I know how important it was for you guys to come out strong, and you get your team up 2-0 right before halftime. Take me through your goal. What were you seeing out there? There was a lot going on.
Well, I think
the goal was fortunate. It just came out of hard work by the team, and before we came out, we knew that we needed to come out and score a couple goals in the first half and really set the tone and try to just kill the game early. And I think we did a great job of that.
And there was a lot of back and forth in this game, but it felt like you guys continued to build as the second half went on. What does it say about this group, this win tonight?
Yeah, I think just the way our season has gone, we really needed to prove a point in this game that we're going to bring in the attack every game. We're going to play hard defensively. We've gotten away from that the last couple of games, but I think this was good for us to kind of get back into our winning ways.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys.
Evan Conway, we saw the confidence go up to throughout the course of the night, just what he needed. And how about that assist by Pedro Dolabella, just putting the ball right in front of him.
Yeah, the old no-looker between two defenders inside the 6-yard box. You know, that's a great assist there, but that came from good build-up play, and that's something that we've been used to seeing from this Tampa Bay Rowdies group, and I think that was something that we got a little bit more used to tonight, and especially as the game went on, they really started to settle in.
Take a look at some highlights here. FC Naples. And this one with Tampa Bay got a little chippy early. Dolabella dealt a yellow, the little wrestling match there later on with MD Myers. Feeling like this is maybe an interstate rivalry to watch in the future. Henderlong got it rolling for the Rowdies.
Yeah, it's picture-perfect service from Marco Micheletto. Henderlong doing a great job of rising himself over his defender. And then for me, this is the goal that ultimately sealed the game here. We talked about that no-look pass from Dolabella, but it's a great job from LaFleur cutting the ball inside, creating that shot. And then for Conway, we talked about the importance of forwards seeing the ball hit the back of the net. That's really as easy as it's going to come from a forward. So he did a great job of making sure that that play was finished off, and hopefully that's something that can build off of Evan Conway's confidence.
Final numbers look like this. What sticks out, Jeff?
So for me, it's just the shots on targets, right? Like that's what you're looking at. It's a really dominant performance in terms of chances that you've created versus chances that you've given up. So against a team like FC Naples, these are the types of numbers that you want to see. Credit the Tampa Bay Rowdies for executing. We talked about how Conway talked about how they wanted to get on the score sheet early and really ride this game out. So the things went to script. So good job for the Tampa Bay Rowdies winning their group, going undefeated in this little state cup tournament play that I've been calling it. And now it's on to the quarterfinals, and we have another big game on the weekend for the Rowdies to keep righting the ship.
So just what the Rowdies needed here tonight. We invite you to tune in this Monday, July 13th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, the Prinx Tires USL Cup Knockout Draw quarterfinal show. USL's Dan Lucas and broadcast analyst Devin Kerr. They will select the matchups from the 7 group winners.
Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.